Hello and welcome. This is the Daily Dharma. My name is Dina. Thanks for joining. We're splitting the code card deck to Alchemy and Universal Love. And so we're beginning to work with higher levels of conscious awareness, transforming our very DNA by the chemical, emotional, energetic interactions and interplay of energies, activating our DNA in a new way. Yesterday's message was quite a bit about the stress of the squeezing process through the eclipse portal. Change of alchemy. And that's what's really happening, is our very body is shifting and changing through new experiences, unprecedented, unexpected situations. Empowerment of understanding, so strengthening our wisdom and understanding of basically that universal love force energy, and how our emotional nostalgia and stress and all these other things feed into that process. Reinvigorating our passion, perhaps empowerment of our passion. So maybe it's awakening our calling in a way too. Let's stop here. Passion remains on the bottom. Discernment, that was the first card out yesterday, was it not? Or was it on the bottom of the deck? Discernment, Gaia. Perception came out yesterday as well. Romantic love. That's nice, following the universal love. Prosperity, we like that. Love and money on the board. Remembrance. Did I say nostalgic energetics? There's something coming up. Memories, nostalgia. Of course, these come up often enough as they do, but then during both eclipse season as well as an upcoming Mercury retrograde. Mercury is going to be retrograding in the sign of Aries. Sometimes Mercury will cross the cusp of a sign during its phase, but we're in the pre-shadow right now at the time of this broadcast. Of course, if you're watching this in a timeless version, Mercury goes retrograde quite often. I think about 3 times a year for, 3 weeks retrograde, with the additional pre-shadow and post-shadow following its apparent backward motion. But this time it's going to be crossing over Chiron's path, the wounded healer, 3 times. It won't quite touch the north node of the moon, the second and third time. They move in opposite directions. Let me try to skip the astrology lesson for those that don't mind. So right now also we've got Venus connecting with Saturn, and then following shortly behind as Mars moves into Pisces, then Mars will connect with Saturn. And so this is bringing a lot of heaviness, and sometimes the idea of burdens, responsibility, or needing to be accountable, holding others accountable, limitations, sadness and depression, all of these heavier things that Saturn deals with. And time. Saturn represents time and timelessness, and how the human mind sometimes resists infinity and sees only the apparent permanence of the objective permanence, object permanence from an early age. When we try to remember that the parent or caregiver has not disappeared if they leave the room and leave our sight. It's something, for some reason, that is all coming out right now. So let's get to these cards. So remembrance, yes, I believe that remembrance also has to do with our Akashic inheritance, our soul connections. We've had quite a bit of messages coming through with our cosmic inheritance, our cosmic DNA. And for those that don't believe in that, just use this as a symbol. It's like our cosmic heritage is that we are stardust. As it falls to this earth, it's commingled with the with the very dust and organic matter here on Earth. And so Earth is commingled, Gaia is commingled with cosmic intelligence as well. And I feel like this is a remembrance of the perspectives, how to utilize our energies and our knowledge of maybe even soul contracts I'm hearing in the moment, in order that we don't block our blessings. There's part of this vital message of what is that saying? Matter cannot be created nor destroyed, only shifting forms. That message is coming through perhaps on the heels of something, remembrance, or the recent experience of death, or a significant transformation of situation or situationship. But there's a remembrance of who we are in the broader context of not only our individuated self, but our connectivity with family of origin, extended family, work family, friendship families, and then the extensions of those groups and the mindsets. And the remembrance here seems to be within connectivity, communication, exchange of knowledge and intelligence, and this bringing more perspective and broadening our ability to plug into things such as the love and prosperity in our life that we're craving on the human dimension, or that spiritual prosperity that keeps coming up. But as we're activated in that receptive mode, centered and aligned and grounded deeply into earth, and also rooted into our cosmic intelligence as well, that unconditional universal love. It's not Gaia, it's universal. So it's cosmic inheritance, the cosmic remembrance. And in that, we are magnets for prosperity on all levels. So being able to discern and perceive abundance and resourcefulness and some type of higher wisdom when we are thrust into situations of grief, transformation, apparent loss. It's like any loss is another door opening. Oh, and this is so beautiful. Have you guys watched Cloud Atlas? I was introduced to this probably 7 years ago, and I finally got a chance to rewatch it twice over the last weekend, and it's awesome. All-star cast. It was incredible and interesting. So I'll leave that teaser. If you're interested, you'll look it up. Right. It's so interesting. So you may be writing, journaling, or channeling things through your written word. Maybe you're writing lists to try to remember things right now. But there's something about Gaia. We'll see what wants to come out underneath right. Oh, I was also thinking right. Here we go. Right order. Yeah, when I saw this right card, I was thinking how I often, without even thinking, I'll be saying something and then I'm verbally saying right, both for confirmation and for force of just habit. And so maybe if there's something that's seeking validation or something that wants to come into the three-dimensional realm, so to speak, we had the manifest card yesterday. Maybe it's important to write down your visions, and to perhaps even, there are different feng shui, I think, inspired things where I read this one, you could write in a specifically a red pen bought for this exercise, you write down 9 generally and specifically manifested goals that you hold for yourself that are easily achievable, and sleep with that under your pillow, and every night and every morning pull that out and read it with feeling and intention. There's some type of writing something down in order that you don't forget all the details of something. Maybe you're writing a business plan. I'm going to use that one today, and we'll leave right order here under the deck. Let's see what else. Commitment. Yeah, rewriting soul contracts, rewriting some type of other business plan. That's another type of a soul contract. Being re-inspired by our passion and our ability to perceive and to assist in some manner of specific spiritual importance here is going to reinvigorate our passion, our idealistic sensibilities. When I looked up, I saw 1111, and bring that spiritual and material prosperity through the spirit of magnetic abundance, remembering our abundance, remembering our inheritance. Inheritance is another gift. It's another blessing. Sorry, I got my hair done and now it's all in my face. Celestial. Now that's incredible to me. This seems to be the color palette of the higher heart, coming between commitment, remembrance, and romantic love. For some, this may be a recommitment to a love or a lover or a loved way of being, having come separated and then coming back together. But it seems that this is a star-based higher heart, celestial. There's something about that Selene, Celeste. There's is that the moon goddess is Selene, but celestial. I know that it's something to do with cosmic and stellar. It's like the higher heart is being unlocked here by something that may feel like pain or suffering or loss or grief or despair, depression. But something here is on purpose. Something is important. And writing came up a few weeks back about writing things, conversations with God. That was the daily Dharma. And then it was extended. There was a part 1 and a part 2. And part of that was about being able to self-liberate yourself from those lower energies. And I'm feeling it in my back. I'm going to move forward. But this seems to be cosmic inheritance that's reinvigorating our passion. We get innocence. Interesting. And knowledge. We already talked about knowledge too. Oh, look at that. To me, this is like cosmic download. Look at the imagery here, and I'm picturing and seeing that this is the outline of an individual, and then this is their spirit, their kundalini column, and this is that of spirit coming down, connecting here at the crown and third eye. It's like soul star activation. And then it comes with this beautiful, I'm seeing this butterfly imagery here, but I'm also noticing, do you see in the camera these small nodes here surrounding the head of what appears to be the individual sitting here? I'm kind of seeing this as this celestial knowledge inheritance being downloaded, the golden light rays. Perhaps you need to sit in some sun on a beach. I know I do. But this knowledge is the remembrance, that Akashic remembrance in the golden corresponding with the cosmic knowledge, the wisdom, that universal love. And whatever's coming in, make sure to take it seriously. Maybe you need to write down a dream. But these nodes here on the head, often when I'm doing a healing service, I will do something where it's some kind of a download activation, and it feels almost Egyptian, and I've seen it somewhere before where it had the bases of two pyramidal structures and the points oppositional, and it feels as though the crown to the throat here is one axis, and the two ears are another axis, and then the third eye and perhaps the back of the base of the neck, there's something there, and maybe that's just the trajectory of the third eye, but it's something that's going on where it's the ability to channel and connect with that star being knowledge. And I guess the reason why it feels Egyptian is because of the use of the pyramid and the imagery, the way it comes through, and also the way that the Egyptians were known to utilize these pyramids. I think known, maybe it's just a theory, but to me it seems relevant regardless. But they would apparently send their energy forward out into the cosmos. And I don't know how far this is theory and knowledge here, but I believe that some people even believe that because they were alchemists in their own right, that they understood and remembered how to actually astrally travel the celestial realms. And perhaps part of this was their, I want to use the word innocence here, it's their nature of subverted, sublimated ego sublimation card is coming to mind. But the innocence of spirit, the purity of spirit, the sacred knowledge and the respect and protection of such sacred knowledge, and keeping of the self as some type of sacred vessel here to honor the sacred wisdom and commitment in that way. Maybe there's some kind of a writing like such as the emerald tablets that some of you may really get a lot out of right now. I just want a couple more. I'm fascinated with this deck. Gifted. I love that one here. Music. Music has been coming out recently. And one more. Integrity. So integrity and music are coming out. Innocence and integrity. It's like some type of soul song maybe playing through you. Maybe you are gifted musically, or your ability to sing. We had a lot of throat chakra stuff coming out yesterday. But this knowledge of integrity, this is also like that. We had the celestial, but this is like that third eye activation that comes forth. So I'm seeing this as this is the celestial remembrance coming in through the crown. We are rising up to meet it energetically. And then here comes this awakening of the third eye of our spiritual inheritance. And therefore, as we know better, we awaken to our responsibility and our integrity in this moment. And there's like this masquerade here, but then it's like the singular eye is rising through the center. However, that maybe it's the rising of the third eye, the sun along the third eye. There's something about that too. And we talked about how that was our gift. It's like our gift to unpack often looks like a box full of pain and suffering. But when we can unbox that thoroughly, we recognize that there are so many pearls of wisdom. Pearls came through yesterday. So, and I hope that any of you who caught that, Oh, Cat Independence is staying down on the deck. You're a natural healer. Your intuition is strong. You don't have to go with the crowd. Life supports you in every way. Yesterday, Hermanubis came through, and for those that are dealing with your ability to perhaps help and assist on the spirit bridge between spirit and matter in some way, such as being a birth doula or a death doula, those are the sacred rites of passion? Sacred rites of passage that that some individuals are dealing with this at this time, and Hermes and Anubis are different, but they both have the same realm of protecting and preserving the body and the grave, the tomb, the preservation and protection of that sacredness. So we've split the deck to Loon, Intuitive, and Fox, Clever. So this is like loony, sometimes brilliance. You can stop and pause those and read them if you wish. Sometimes brilliance looks a lot like loony stuff, crazy talk. When it's the channel, it's like, how do you mean forgive that guy? That was crazy. Can you imagine? I could never do such a thing. But then as we look into it, we see how our transgression may have not been that thing, but there's this other thing that we've done. And so once we reach some type of a threshold, our channel is going to look a lot different than the commonplace, because the commonplace is wounded, the wounded warrior, and we are communicating with higher vibrational information and thus higher responsibility, higher integrity. And so we can no longer live ignorantly. We have to live innocently, spontaneously, unbroken. Dun-dun-dun. All right, Cougar, Assertive, and Fox, Clever. So let's see. One oracle animal for today. And then we'll get a Kuan Yin deck and Kelly mixed deck. Okay, Hawk is on the bottom from yesterday also. Interesting. This is the card that brought up the Hermanubis imagery, even though I think that may not be a hawk, it may be a falcon, but to me it was the hawk. Spirit is sending you messages. Open your greater vision to see the signs. Focus on priorities and eliminate distractions. You have a bright future. Let yourself ascend to new heights. So yeah, write it out. Make this commitment with your gifts. Sing your soul song into being with innocence, knowledge, and integrity. Yeah. Raccoon, Inventor. That's gorgeous. Decide on what you really want. You have the ingenuity to claim it. Avoid being the trickster. Oh, we had that. Fox, Clever. Avoid being the trickster and practice integrity. You have many roles and can juggle them well. I'll let you take that in. So pretty and so cute. So yeah, this open your greater vision and practice integrity. Look at that opening of our vision through that, whatever knowledge is coming to us now. Yeah, it's moving beyond ego into trust and faith. All right, let's get a Kuan Yin card or Kelly card as Spirit will decide for us. Shining Lotus and Sound the Fierce Flute. That's you're getting a lot of attention based on your rising vibration. taking people perhaps by surprise. Chinnamasta. 20 is all about the self-liberation, self-decapitating Kali card, where she basically takes back her power. And Call of the Dancing Crane. So I gotta cover this lady up here for a bit. Call of the Dancing Crane. That's the number 4 card. So something is calling us like a siren, and we are, as we move through with our grace and our intention, our innocent integrity and knowledge, we are really shining brightly. And it's like that highly magnetic unassuming energy that comes through this card. And it talks about the crane moving through the water so gently that it barely causes a ripple and doesn't alert the fish that the crane is in the area. And so they just swim right around the feet of this thing, thinking that the legs are reeds, and then the crane can get its meal and go about its day. And they just wade around in the waters and do their thing all day. It's something about Call of the Dancing Crane is like being magnetic to our spiritual abundance and our romantic love. Perhaps you are doing some kind of mating dance, but Call of the Dancing Crane to me is almost like being so attuned and resonant with those celestial frequencies that we do call it in. And she has a lute behind her head. She knows her music. She knows her soul song so well that she doesn't need to have it in front of her. Who's that guitarist that could play behind his back? Somebody I should probably know. I'm sure some of you do. All right. I think we will leave it there. There's some kind of energy birthing that we're being taught to trust and to work with the channel coming in, to write something down, to keep something straight, to make that higher commitment. We're remembering what we're doing here and what sparks our passion, and we're being imbued and gifted the ability to understand and discern what this world needs with Gaia. It's like being plugged into the collective frequencies and the ability to assist others with prosperity of their spirit. But first, we got to get straight on our own stuff, because we can't go around solving others' issues without looking at ourselves, although some of us like to be useful in that way. It's not always on purpose, but it does happen. So take care of you first, and I wish you so much love and light during this eclipse portal. It can be a tough one as we're all getting squeezed and transformed into something totally new and unprecedented. So good luck on your journey, and we'll be finishing up some of the other signs this afternoon, so check back and get your eclipse information coming up soon. Thanks.